stürmt oder schneit und die Sonne uns lacht, der Tag kühlen heiß oder eiskalt die Nacht.
All right, the trolls are back, and today we are playing Clash of Steel. Today we're going to have the Germans versus the British, and our British are now up to a full list of all Clash of Steel vehicles, so this should be pretty interesting and see if they can take on the Germans. This is a look at our game board. We're all set up. We've got some ruins, some fields, some forest, and we are going to be playing the frontal attack mission. I believe this is the last mission we haven't played, and our mission rules are going to be 7 rounds, scattered, immediate reserves, and ambush. So we'll take you guys over to the armies, and then we'll get started. Here's our German list. We're going to have a commander in a Tiger II. He's going to be taking the teamwork ability because you got to take advantage of that blitz move with the Germans. We are going to have 2 units of 4 Tiger I's, a unit of Jagdtigers, a unit of 3 Tiger IIs, and a unit of 3 Panthers. The Tiger IIs and the Panthers are going to be held in reserve, and the Jagdtigers will be ambushing. So this is what we will start with on the board over here, and then these guys will be coming in scattered immediate reserves. Okay, so that's the Germans. We will go over to the British. So, tell us what the British have in store for the Germans today.
They will be led by a Centurion 3 with 2 more units of Centurion 3s and 2 units of Comets, Challengers who will be ambushing, and 2 units of 2 Tortoises.
Ugh.
The Centurion units and 1 of the Comet units will be in reserve.
Okay. So, what do you think your tactics are? What do you think you're going to try and do?
I'm going to kind of use the Tortoises to stay in the fight long enough for the rest of the force to come in.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I can get around to the flank of those Tortoises, because otherwise I've got no shot at taking them out. So we'll see how that goes. Tortoises scare me. All right, so there are our 2 forces. We'll go ahead and get deployed and bring you guys back after deployment. Here we are all set up for the frontal attack scenario. For the Germans, we have a unit of Tigers in this piece of terrain. We have our commander and his Tiger II here, and another unit of Tiger I's hiding over here. For the British, we have a unit of Tortoises. We have the commander in his Centurion, correct? Mm-hmm. Feeling very confident. They're out there on the road. Another unit of Tortoises, and what are those guys again? Something that begins with a C.
Comets.
Comets. Gotcha. Okay, and then somewhere on the British side there is a unit of Challengers in the reserve or in ambush, and somewhere on the German side there is a unit of Jagdtigers in ambush. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We haven't rolled yet to see who goes first. So do you want to go ahead and do that?
Okay.
We can do that on camera. Germans are going to get a full 5. Ooh, 6 for the British. Looks like the Brits are going first. All right, so we'll bring you guys back after British turn 1. Here we are at the end of British turn 1, and the British are rolling right along. The Tortoises and the Challengers?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, comments.
Comets, sorry. I always get these British tanks confused. The Comets managed to, even though they needed 7s to hit these Tigers, the Comets destroyed 1, and the Tortoises destroyed 1 through the long range and the camouflage. Over here, the Commander over there in his Challenger, is that a Challenger? Centurion. In his Centurion managed to destroy 1 Tiger over here. The, what are these guys called?
Challengers.
The Challengers came in from ambush and took up position in that field, and the rest of the British force there is steaming ahead towards Objective 2. For Objective 1, we got the immediate result, which means you score double victory points on that one until turn 6. So the British are up 6 points to 0 at the end of turn 1. So there we are. I think we're going to need our ambushers this turn. Oh, and the British got another unit of Comets from reserve came in also. So there we are at the end of British turn 1. They're already starting to deplete the outnumbered Germans. So we'll see how the Germans can respond. Okay, this is where we sit at the end of German turn 1. We brought our Jagd Tigers out of ambush. No reserves came in. The Jagd Tigers managed to bail out one of these Comets, and then the Tigers, who moved up to here, they destroyed another one. The lone guy, let's see, the Comets first failed their remount test, then that left a lone guy who then failed his motivation test. So then that unit's now destroyed, and the British didn't get any points for that objective this turn. So the Germans are sitting at 3 points to the British's 6. So not a bad start there. Over here, we blitzed to here. Our one tank is kind of sitting out there in the open. We couldn't get any hits on those challengers in the field. And my commander moved up to this ruin, but he couldn't hit anything either. But still 1 unit down, and the Jagd Tigers are out on the field, so hopefully maybe they'll draw some fire. So not a bad place. Not bad at all. All right, we are going to go off to British turn 2. All right, at the end of British turn 2, it's starting to look bleak for the Germans. The Tortoises over there destroyed another Tiger. The Centurions showed up there to support their commander in the center, but they didn't do anything. Over there, the Tortoises managed to take out my commander. And over here, the Challengers... No, I'm sorry. What are they again? Comets. And the Challengers took out this unit, leaving me with all I have left on the table right now is 1 Tiger and the Jagd Tigers, though I'm still in good spirits because I have 2 core units in reserve. So if I don't get some reserves in soon, this is going to be a pretty fast game. So right now the British are up 12 points to the Germans 3. So we'll see if we can turn it around in German turn 2. A very fast turn 2 for the Germans. This Tiger here managed to pass his cross-check, move up to there and claim that objective and snag us 6 points. He tried to hit those Centurions over there and missed. The Jagd Tigers also went for those Centurions and missed. We didn't get any reserves in, so we're literally clinging on by the skin of our tiger teeth. We have 2 units left in reserves. Right now, the British still got points for that objective. So we are at 15 points for the British and 9 points for the Germans. So hopefully the Germans can hold out for 1 more turn and get some reserves in. But there we go. We are off to British turn 3. Okay, here we sit at the end of British turn 3, looking pretty grim for the Germans. The Tortoises bailed this lone Tiger out. Then the Centurions came up here and took him out. They didn't get any more reserves that turn. I think they have one more unit of Centurions sitting in reserves. But the British are just racking up points. They got another 3 points for taking this guy out, and 3 more points for holding that objective. So the British are sitting at 21 points to the Germans 9. We still have our Jagd Tigers here. We'll see if any reserves come in as we head into German turn 3. This is going to be a fast game. All right, this is the end of German turn 3. We did get some reserves in. We got our other unit of King Tigers in. They came in, they bailed out one of those comets, but he remounted. Over here, the Jagd Tigers successfully blitzed out of the woods, past their cross and into the rubble, and they took out 2 of those Centurions over there, but that lone fella did pass his last stand test. So the Germans didn't score any points that turn, but we are sitting in a good position because now we have some firepower and we have some armor. So hopefully that can keep the British at bay for a little bit until we can get our last unit of Panthers in. The British are sitting at 24 points to the Germans 9 as we head into British turn 4. All right, end of British turn 4. That was a fast turn. These Centurions came in. We realized after checking the rules they probably should have come in last turn, but oh well, mistakes happen. The Tortoises moved up, tried to do something to the Jagd Tigers. That didn't happen. Over here, they tried to bounce some shots off the front of the King Tigers. Nothing much happened there. The British scored 3 points for holding that objective. So they're still firmly in the lead with 27 to the Germans 9. And then next turn, our unit of Panthers will be in. So hopefully we'll get some shots rolling here soon. All right, we'll see you guys after German turn 3, or German turn 4. German turn 4. Well, things are looking a little better for the Germans. So the Panthers came on this table side. The King Tigers sat still, fired off a volley and took out the Comets, and then managed a successful shoot and scoot. And then over here, the Jagd Tigers took out that last Centurion. They're going to stay put in the terrain where they're at. That gave the Germans an extra 6 points, so now they're up to 15 to 27 for the British. So as we head into turn 5, the British are still on top, but the Germans have some heavy hitters on the table. All right, so on to British turn 5. At the end of British turn 5, this is how things sit. The Centurions dashed up here. I guess they're looking to get around to the side armor of the Jagd Tigers. The Tortoises managed to pass their cross test and get onto that objective. Last turn, the Germans did swap that one out with one of their tactics cards. That's now the dual objective, where you get an additional 5 at the end of the game. The commander just moved up. I believe he dashed up the road. And over here, the what are these guys called again?
Challengers.
The Challengers bounced some shells off of the Panthers, and the Tortoises bounced some shells off of the King Tigers there. And then the British got another 3 points for that objective. So they are now at 33 to the Germans 15 as we head into German turn 5. All right, end of German turn 5 here. So the Panthers chose not to move, and they decided to shoot at them. They destroyed one and bailed out another, though that lone guy passed his motivation test because that guy failed his remount. The King Tigers tried to finish them off, but they just ended up whiffing. But now we at least contest that objective. And then over here, The Yag Tigers finished off the commander and the Centurion there on the road. And that is it. So the British scored 4 points that turn for having that objective and a contested objective. The Germans scored 4 points for destroying a unit and a contested objective. So it is 37-19 as we head into British turn 6. All right, end of British turn 6. The challengers bounced some shells off of the Panthers again. The tortoises bounced some shells off the King Tigers. Over here, the tortoises didn't really try to do anything, and these Centurions dashed across the field to try and get around to the side of the Yag Tigers, putting me in a very difficult position next turn. That is about all that happened. Each side, the British managed to score 4 points for holding an objective and contesting, and the Germans scored 1 for contesting. So the British are up to 41 points to the Germans 20 as we head into German turn 6. Okay, so the British may have this one in the bag, but the Germans are trying to take as many of them down with them as possible. The Panthers snuck around to the side and managed to actually take out a tortoise. The King Tigers here managed to finish off these challengers and now hold that objective alone. Over here, the Yag Tigers destroyed one Centurion and bailed out another. He did fail his remount test. So it is now sitting at 44 points for the British and 26 for the Germans. As we head into the last turn of the game, the Germans aren't going to be able to pull a victory out of this, but we're just going to see how many of the British they can take down. All right, on to British turn 7. All right, end of British turn 7. This tortoise pivoted around and managed to take out one of the Panthers. They did not think about that now that the King Tigers are looking at their side armor, so that should be fun next turn. Over here, one of the Centurions just decided to go for broke, come around and took out one of the Yag Tigers in the side. This fella here, stuck in the field, managed to fail his test again, so he's still left bailed out. We are sitting at how many points for the British?
47.
47 to the Germans 32. So we're catching up. All right, we have one more turn to go. We will see where things are at the end of German turn 7. Okay, here's all the bloody carnage at the end of German turn 7. This Yag Tiger turned around and fired off and took out this Centurion. This Centurion that was stuck in the field did pass his remount test, so we don't get any points for wiping that unit out. Over here, as expected, the King Tigers did fire off into the side of that tortoise. In an amazing feat, we had 6 shots, 5 hits, and all 5 of the hits failed to take out that tortoise. Luckily, we did have a tactics card that let us re-roll a firepower test, so we were able to get a 3 and destroy that lone tortoise. So we got 3 points for that and 3 points for holding that objective. So our end score for the game is 50 points for the British to 38 for the Germans. Honestly, the game was a lot closer at the end than it felt like in the first couple turns. The Germans came back and did a lot with the little that they had, but the British definitely held out there. They do still have 2 core units left on the table, so they are in good standing, and this is a good win for the British. How you feeling about the Brits?
Definitely, I'm pretty good. I feel like having more Centurions and Comets was a bit better than the Crusaders in the Grants.
Well, yeah, yeah.
And I may have to figure out what to do about the tortoises because they were just beasts.
Well, I don't think you need to feel bad about them. They definitely did their job, and they don't move fast. So really, if I had had more of my force in to start the game, they wouldn't have been that difficult because I could have tried to get around their sides more. I definitely think you did what you needed to do with them.
Yeah, I think I just managed to get a pretty lucky on first turn.
Yeah, I'm honestly very proud of the Yag Tigers. They did some work in this game. They beat up on these Centurions. They killed that unit of Comets. They took out that unit of Centurions and the commander. They were really my workhorses this game. I'm definitely thinking though. I love the Tiger ones, but maybe some more Tiger twos are in order for the Germans. What's that?
You're definitely not sure on extra Tiger 2s.
No, we definitely have plenty of Tiger 2s sitting around. So that's one thing that's nice about this game. It's real easy to try different lists, try out different things. This was fun. I have been wanting to run 2 units of 4 Tigers. So maybe I'll try switching things around with the Yag Tigers and the Tiger 2s. But it's still fun. Anything else you want to say?
I think it might be good.
Okay. I'm good on this one.
Interesting
Hopefully we'll get to playing some fantasy. I'm still painting away on the Skaven, so I'm not sure if they're going to be ready for our next game. But we do have Halloween coming up, so I'm sure the vampire accounts are going to be coming out soon.
Oh, I'd like to add something. This is a thought I've been having, but it definitely feels like at times with the reserves that it kind of with some of the allies it can really benefit them because with the Soviets everything they have is pretty cheap, so you have to put a lot in reserve. And with the Germans, a lot of their stuff is expensive, so what little you do have, you have to put in reserve. Whereas Americans and British are kind of in between.
Yeah, the reserves I do think hurts the Soviets and the Germans more. Last game I was able to just chip away at the Soviets piecemeal, so I think you have something there. But I've also been going for more quality as opposed to quantity with the Germans. I'm not quite sure what I don't really care for the Panzer 470s in this game or the Nashorns, so I'm not sure if I want to break them out. But we'll definitely play around with the scenarios, see how the rules play out. We're not always going to have reserves, so something different. Anything else you want to add?
I think that might be it.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time.